Hey guys, and welcome back to Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. Well, last time it could have been one of two different things. I haven't decided on yet. So last time it could have been we took on the Volvodon and destroyed him, or last time it could have been the reassembling and refurbishing of the ancient mask. So I did as I said, I did the ancient mask portion last time. Not entirely sure if I'm going to keep that footage or not because it just took forever. But anyways, this time around, we are going after the big one. The flagship monster of the entire series, the icon of all of Monster Hunter, the Rathalos. And it is going to be a doozy of a quest because Rathalos is the male counterpart of the Rathian, obviously. But he is also called the King of the Sky, which should be an instant clue that this is going to be actually a little bit tedious. But because it is also in the volcano zone, we got to make sure to have our cool drinks. This isn't the Sandy Plain, so I can't do the memo, but still, bring your cool drinks. It's going to be hotter than hell to where we're going. Alright. And, ooh, they even supplied me with some easy flash bombs. I feel like I'm winning. Oh, yes, also, I forgot to mention, this guy can poison you, too, just like the Rathian. So, bring some antidotes or something like that. Okay. First off, Rathalos can be found in Area 8. So, we have to climb the mountain. It's a sizable climb. So, I'm just gonna pop some rations, and we can get to ascending. I've pretty much been using the same armor set for the past anywhere between 3 to 5 quests or something like that. And this is where the Kuropeko armor really shines because of its fire resistance. And Rathalos is definitely not going to be pulling any punches against us. Oh, I completely forgot about my cool drinks already. Hi, you rock doors. Just leave me the hell alone. No! Okay, fuck you. Oh, alright. At least my fire resistance is high enough to where I don't have fire blight from these guys. But Rathalos could be an entirely different story. But at least I'm better prepared this time. Thank God for the farm. Alright. Onward to Area 8. What a badass. I mean, I swear, this guy, a little bit of history on this guy. This guy has been in Monster Hunter all the way from the beginning. So this guy was the original monster. This guy was the Kingpin. And he's still a big a pain in the ass now as he was then. Actually, I think he's actually toned down just a little bit since the last one. But his primary, I guess, gimmick, because it's not really a really good aspect of this monster, is that he primarily fights from the air. So, in order to take him down from the air, use a flash bomb because it's surprisingly fun. But it might be a good idea to save your flash bombs for when he's enraged and in the air. That way, well, one, you take him down a notch, and two, he can't really fight back. Because if he's fighting back in rage, yeah, you're probably going to get hurt quite a bit. In terms of breakable parts, this guy, all his parts are the exact same as the Rathian. So, head can be broken, wingtips can be broken, tail can be cut off, and I think I might be missing something, I'm not sure. But the other thing, too, is that just like the Rathian, he also can be poison. He can poison you. Only difference is that instead of using a tail, he uses his claws, and there's a tell for that. When he flies straight up in the air, he can do one of 3 things. He can either fly around the map for a little bit to try to dive bomb you. He can either do a triple fireball, or he'll home in on the location of a person and use his claws. Pretty much, it's an unavoidable attack unless you're either underneath him or actually dodge. So it takes your dodge mechanics and oh, okay, there, yeah, I thought he might have oh no, okay, I thought he might have already did the attack, but yeah, it does a sizable amount of damage, and because it's poison, it just does a little bit more. Alright, but simple antidote just cures that right up. Oh, and okay, Kayamba's actually doing something, you know, useful. Also, I believe we talked about this with Rathian before, but if you knock him out of the air for any reason, then he will more than likely drop a shiny. And that shiny can be picked up. And also, just like the Rathian, this guy's just a harder version of the Rathian, and I'm going to get into a fun fact a little bit later, but the hardest part to get from this guy currently is the Rathalos plate. You know what, I'm just going to do this. Okay, that's unfortunate. What happened there was I threw the flash bomb right as he did the animation of his attack, and that overrides the effect of a flash bomb. So it did work on him, but okay. So Rathalos plate is the rarest item to get from this guy, and you can get it the same way as getting a Rathian plate, either from a drop after breaking his head, a normal drop, which is also exceedingly rare, or cutting off his tail and carving it. So I'm just gonna. Okay, there we go. There, that time I missed. And there he goes. Oh man, that is so beautiful. And oh my god, these felines. I'm having flashbacks to Natalie from my Monster Hunter Freedom Unite walkthroughs. And just the random barrel bomb that comes out of nowhere and just wrecks my day. Speaking of Monster Hunter Freedom Ultimate, Freedom Unite, that's still currently on hiatus. And that's because I need a new PlayStation Portable. The one that I have, its USB port, has pretty much shit the bed, so I can't exactly use it. But, oh wow, he's exhausted already. But as soon as I get that part sorted out, then I should be able to do the other Monster Hunter games. I hope. Recently, school and work have just taken a shit ton of time out of my schedule. In fact, I'm recording the last few episodes of Monster Hunter back to back, so this is like my third recording in one day, and that's because I finally have a break from school. Finals was last week, or actually it's this week because it's actually the end of the week, but whatever. So I actually have time to do stuff. And so this should be a few weeks worth of Monster Hunter, and I'm really sorry for having to delay actually any of the Monster Hunter games, because, you know, I really, really enjoy doing them. It's a hell of a lot of fun. But, you know, some things have to take priority, unfortunately. Flash bomb. Alright, he should remain exhausted for a little bit longer. Thank God. What was the other thing I was going to go into this guy? Oh yes, weaknesses. I'm not sure if I went into weaknesses with Rathian, but the weaknesses with Rathalos are the same. He's primarily weak to the Dragon-type element, an element that we will not be getting our hands on for a while. It's going to be a long-ass time. But as a substitute, he's also pretty weak to Thunder, and I think... I'm not sure if it's a weakness or a resistance, but I know Ice plays an involvement there somewhere. Just obviously don't use fire-based elements against this guy. You're gonna have a bad time. Simple as that. What was the other thing? Oh yes, going into the history of this guy, because he has such a very long history within the entire franchise. But it used to be that Rathian was the stronger of the two. You know, girl power and all that good shiz. I guess because of the nature of Rathalos being just such an intimidating feature, such an intimidating factor of the two, I guess they made Rathalos a little bit stronger in the following Monster Hunter games. But it used to be that Rathian was meant to be the stronger one. Ah! Okay, we're good. But yeah, and even then there was I remember there was a quest in the original Monster Hunter game called, I think it was Double Trouble or something like that. It was the very last village quest in the original Monster Hunter game for the PlayStation 2, and I believe you had to fight both a Rathalos and Rathian. However, they were amped up. They were much stronger than the typical village quests. I believe, because I didn't understand at the time, that they were both high rank versions. So it wasn't just you're fighting them both at the same time. No, they were on the high rank portion, so they were much harder. Oh boy. And I managed to actually complete that quest using the armor that I had. And people are like, people that played that might be like, oh, well, why didn't you just do the guild quest, get your stuff up to high rank? Well, it was the PlayStation 2 days, and the servers had since been shut down. So I could not get online, even if I wanted to. But it's nice to know that this guy has he just has such a long history. He's really an icon. A pain in the ass, but he's an icon. And there's actually 3 versions of the Rathalos. I would say just like the Rathian, but the Rathian actually has one other version that isn't available in the mainstream games, I believe. I believe it's Monster Hunter Frontier only, which is basically Japanese and Asia exclusive. And I do not want to fight that version of the Rathian like at all. But in terms of the subspecies, the Rathalos has the normal version, he has the Azure, and then he has the Silver, each of which we will be fighting. Now, and I believe, because I'm actually heavily against subspecies of any kind, because I just think it's just a reskin, not a whole lot of difference. It's either that or they just don't make sense. See Ignactor for that rant. But I like to think that, I'm not sure if I read this as a confirmation, but an Azure and Silver Rathalos is basically not just a stronger version, but an older version of a Rathalos. So there's just that to think about. I think he's leaving. Yeah, he's leaving. Where's he going? He's probably going into Area 3, and I bet you anything that there's going to be a Mellinks or 2 in there. In terms of combat or locations for this monster, he can be found in areas 8, 3, 4, and I believe 6. I don't think that he can get into areas 5, 7, or 10. Definitely not 9. 9, no monster can get in there. I don't even think... I know, like, Mellinks' felines, I think those get in there. But I don't think any other monster gets in there. And even then, I'm not too sure about the Mellinks'. Because I don't remember it in recent memory. But all Area 9 is in the Volcano Zone is just... Oh, wow. Is just a very thin path. Oh, and that's a rarity. The Rathalos blew the hell of a Banabra, and instead of bursting apart into a million pieces, it actually, I can actually carve it. You know what, I'll do that right now, just for the lulz. And I got a Banabra shell, alright. And much like any monster that's going to be stronger, Rathalos does have quite a bit of health. Not sure where I'm at in terms of just wrecking him, but just like the Rathian, his weak point is his head. I was hoping that he'd still be in the air by the time I threw that. Ah, damn it. Okay. And you can see the effects of the flash bomb being smaller as, you know, time progresses. Oh, Jesus Christ. Thank you, Cha-Cha. Okay. I do have traps with me, but I'm being... I was just about to say I was going to be a bit conservative with them. Because he can leave the area at any time, and I think he's doing that right now. And the paintball wore off too, so I have no idea what's going on. Where he's about to go. And it looks like he's going into Area 1, which is very good. I believe there's Aptonoth in there, which he does feed on. And I just took a Might Seed. Now, I do not normally do this, because I never had a use for any buff items. But I'm going to see just how well something like a Might Seed will fare. And you know what? He is a bit weak, so I think I will use a trap. I do have a Shock Trap, but I believe I also have my Pitfall Trap with me. Yes. Alright, there we go. Man, and because he's exhausted, it's going to last for longer. So this guy is in a world of hurt. Okay. With any luck, he's weak now. No, maybe not. I was hoping to get off a Spirit Round Slash, but I guess that's out of the question. And, oh, wow. Wow. Okay. Straight up clocked him in the back of the skull, and that did him in. I was just about to say, even though, and this applies to Rathian too, even though that they are weak and they're exhausted, if you get too close to their mouth when they're doing their fireball attack, even if there's no fireball coming out, the flames will still hurt you. So there's that to keep in mind. So usually you want to approach a Rathalos or Rathian from the side whenever you're taking a chunk out of their face. But wow, that actually was a little bit faster. That's under 15 minutes. And so that's probably what you expect when you're at this level. I wouldn't say more for the more experienced hunter or the advanced one, but if you're a beginning hunter, I'd give you anywhere between 20 to 30 minutes. Just because this guy, it's not just sort of an intimidation factor, it's also he does like to go into the sky a lot. And thankfully, he was very kind to me this time around. I'm not sure if he's going to be kind to you, though, so keep that in mind whenever you're hunting this guy. But let's see what we got. Big money, big money, big money, and we got crap. Okay, yes, that's the way I like it. And a Rathian scale. So all scales, and wow, that's a nice ending shot. And you know, I'm going to take this. Okay, so that was a Rathalos. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you again when we're ready to take on another badass monster. I'll see you then. Take care.